Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now basically the middle of October of 2022, and we are not only getting closer to shows out there like Tales of the Jedi, and of course, let's not forget about the Mandalorian Season 3 on the horizon that's still slated to release this February unless things get shifted around. We'll inform you on that if things do change. But there's a lot to look forward to. John and Dave are really crafting and building things from the ground up when it comes to this new, exciting universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe between John, George, and Dave is the fact that they are all working together as a team to bring in the fan favorite aspects of Star Wars Legends. Now, of course, a lot of that is catered toward hardcore fans that really invest a lot of their time in reading up on the books, the novels, and the comics, and how they're going to be able to recognize what John and Dave are really going to be able to do by dragging that into the Disney canon. Now that brings us to the next big thing here, of what they are currently doing with actress Daisy Ridley. Now, we have discussed this before in the past, that there's been a lot of discussions happening behind the scenes about getting Daisy Ridley to reprise her role as Rey once again in live-action form. It is actually happening now behind the scenes. It is finally moving forward, and it's actually getting put in motion, essentially. So this all pertains to one of the upcoming Star Wars TV shows that's really going to lend itself toward a post-Episode 9 series. We'll get into the real big details about all of this, and how it also lends a lot of connections to Daisy Ridley and more. Now, of course, with many new Star Wars shows currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, creators John and Dave are doing some incredible things behind the scenes, not just with new creators, but also with ILM. Now, it's noted that recently both Favreau and Filoni recently finalized their plan to rehiring Daisy Ridley for one of the new Star Wars TV shows that is set to take place in a post-Episode 9 era of the franchise. Now, further, it's described that Daisy is now set to reprise the role of Rey, and will be coming back in the form of multiple cameos as Rey Solana, and holding both the Kenobi and Palpatine bloodline. John and Dave are ditching the Rey Skywalker name that was introduced in post-Episode 9, of course, and are building their way up to a new future for Star Wars. Not just that, however, but this will be a up, of course, and running new show, and considered a Rise of Skywalker sequel series that will focus on the new Jedi Order and a brand new Jedi Temple that will be built in the upcoming Star Wars show. Now, let me just pause here for 1 second. Now, it's not all that surprising that John Boyega absolutely refused to come back into this show, and really did not want to come back as Finn. And Boyega made this very clear in multiple interviews that he pretty much, feels that his character is wrapped up and done with. He doesn't really believe that there needs to be any kind of reprising of his character. Now, Daisy Ridley, I think that she ultimately agreed to come back because she knows that this character is like the character of the sequels, and it would only make sense for her to take up that role. Also, I think at this point, she's beginning to realize that Star Wars really is her thing when it comes to acting. I mean, ever since The Rise of Skywalker, very sadly, she has not been getting all that many roles as you would think she would be getting. Nothing that big, nothing like blockbuster level. Not even close, to be honest. She does have a couple of projects here and there, but nothing really substantial. And I think that a lot of it may have to do with the fact that there's been so much, criticism over the sequels that it really kind of put a dent in her career. And it's just very unfortunate that it actually led to that. So it's nice that she's getting these offers. It's nice that she's agreeing to some things by Favreau and Filoni, even if they are going to be a handful of cameos in a show. It's at least something to really get things rolling again. Now, the thing about this, what I like about a Rise of Skywalker sequel series is that what John and Dave are doing, and let me just, say something real quick, is that they are trying to give the fans their own take, their own version of Rey, how she actually, acts in the show, how she actually acts as a character. They also want to give fans this new era of Star Wars that's really gonna become like a big, stamp in the timeline. That's going to be a very big moment. They want to make sure that they are creating Star Wars history as fans are watching along. And that's what I like about this, Basically, it's going to have no sequel trilogy like tones or vibes at all. They're going to be giving us their own version of Rey. She's going to be acting a little bit differently. They're not going to have, of course, sequel trilogy elements thrown in there. No First Order or anything like that. It's just going to be a complete, fresh, new take on the rise of the new Jedi Order, the new generation of Jedi. Rey is a couple of cameos, and of course, there's a couple of more surprises that I wanted to talk about. So, with that being said too, they are aiming to actually make this series have a very high budget as well, to make it appear movie-like, and that this is going to be Favreau and Filoni's way of giving fans their version of Rey in a fresh new take. Now, they tried to get John Boyega, like I said before, as Finn, as they wanted to tell his story as a Jedi in this new series as well, but Boyega refused to come back for the show and holds zero interest. Now, Daisy so far is the only one that was willing to come back for the sequel cast so far. Lucasfilm is set to announce this new series at Celebration next year that will offer new secrets about Rey and the Jedi, as well as the return of some fan-favorite Force ghosts. Many parts of the show have already been storyboarded before a script has even begun yet. Now, this seems to be the new thing by Favreau and Filoni, is that what they do is that they storyboard the show, and then they finalize specific storyboards to be used as inspiration for the script, essentially. And that gets thrown into the story. I actually like that concept. I think it's a very good thing that they've been doing for the past couple of years now, and, we just gotta wait and see exactly how the ball gets rolling here. Now, Daisy Ridley, I think, deserves another chance. We all know that she got a lot of criticism based on the writing by JJ and Ryan. I never blamed Daisy. I still stand by my opinion that she's a very good actress. She has a lot of potential. It's just very unfortunate that this role of hers really kind of limited her ability in the film industry. It really did. There's even a lot of Hollywood experts out there that touched on this subject, that Daisy almost comes across like what happened with Mark Hamill with the Star Wars original trilogy. He didn't really get all that many blockbusters as well. He was just really known as Luke Skywalker. It's not that Mark was a bad actor or anything like that. It's just that he had that image, like, that's Luke Skywalker. Nobody could get that out of their mind if they could try. So it seems as so that this is the same exact thing happening to Daisy Ridley. Now, with that being said, everything related to this, there's also a lot of other work being poured into the show. It's not going to have any kind of Kathleen Kennedy input, most thankfully. All credit goes to John and Dave for making sure of that. But that also, they are going to be really making sure that this series is going to feel like a movie. They want to give it a very high budget, a very cinematic tone. And you know what? Looking at Andor's budget and the cinematography, that's kind of like what they're aiming for. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.